All right, let's talk about something that can totally transform the way you write code. We're going to go from that stressful feeling of hunting down bugs to a place where you're building software that you know deep down is bulletproof.
You know the feeling, right? You've been there. You find a bug, you come up with a really clever fix, you ship it, and then you get a call. Something totally unrelated that was working perfectly fine is now completely broken. It's this maddening game of whack-a-mole. But what if there was a way to just stop playing? So to get to the solution, we've got to first talk about the villain of our story. For a long time, the default way we've checked our work has been this thing called the manual testing trap.
What is manual testing? Well, it's pretty much what it sounds like. You run your program, and you just click around. You type things into forms, you navigate to different pages, and you hope you spot anything that looks weird. It's kind of the poke it and pray method. And while it has its place, it has some major downsides.
And this slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? Manual checks take forever. They're boring and repetitive. And honestly, the worst part? When you do find a bug, trying to remember the exact 10 steps you took to make it happen can be a nightmare. The dream, right? The goal is a process that's the exact opposite. Fast, automated, and totally reliable every single time you run.
So that brings us to the hero of this story, unit testing. This is that better way. This is the automated approach that gets us to our goal.
So, here's the big idea. Instead of testing your entire massive program all at once, unit testing says, let's focus on the tiny little pieces. Think of it like building with Legos. You're not going to build a whole castle and then realize one of the foundation bricks is cracked. No, you check each individual brick, each unit, like a single function to make sure it's perfect on its own.
Exactly. The point here isn't to find every single possible bug in your whole application. It's way more fundamental than that. It's about building this rock-solid foundation of trust, proving that each tiny building block does exactly what you expect it to do before you even start connecting them.
So what makes a unit test a great unit test? Well, it really comes down to these 5 pillars. 1, it's got to be isolated. One test, one single piece of functionality. 2, it needs to be automated so you can run it constantly. 3, it must be repeatable. It gives you the same result, pass or fail, every single time. 4, it has to be fast, because nobody's going to run tests that take all day. And 5, all your tests together should give you good code coverage, making sure you've checked as many different scenarios as you can.
Okay, that might sound a little intimidating, right? 5 pillars, automation. But here's the thing. You can literally start right now. You don't need some complex setup to write your very first automated test.
If you're using Python, the magic starts with a single keyword, assert. This little statement is your gateway drug into the world of automated testing. It's simple, but it is incredibly powerful.
So how does it work? It's simple. You just tell assert something you believe to be true. Like, I assert that when I add 2 and 2, the answer is 4. If you're right, if the condition is true, nothing happens. It's completely silent. Your program just keeps on running, and you know that little piece of logic is solid. But what if that condition is false? What if your function gives back 5 instead of 4? Well, that's when assert becomes your best friend. It slams on the brakes, the entire program halts, and it screams at you with an assertion error, pointing to the exact line where reality did not match your expectations. It's an instant alarm bell.
Now, assert statements aren't awesome for a step, but when you start building bigger things, you're going to want to level up. And that's where a professional tool like pytest comes in.
So what is pytest? Think of it as a full toolkit for testing. It takes the simple idea of assertions and builds a whole system around it. It helps you write and organize your tests in a clean way, and after it runs them all, it gives you this beautiful, clear report telling you exactly what worked and, more importantly, what didn't.
And getting started is dead simple. It's basically these 4 steps. You install it with one command, you write your tests as just plain old Python functions. You run another simple command in your terminal, and boom, you get a clear report. It's designed from the ground up to be easy and fast.
Okay, so we've covered the technical side, the what and the how. But honestly, the most important part is the why. Because the real, true value of unit testing isn't just about finding bugs. It's about fundamentally changing how you feel when you code.
It's like a total mindset shift. Before testing, every single change you make feels a little anxious, a little uncertain. Is this going to break something? But after you have a good suite of tests, that anxiety just melts away. It's replaced with confidence. Your code becomes reliable, and weirdly enough, you actually start moving faster because you're not afraid to make changes.
And that's what this all comes down to, a safety net. Unit tests are a safety net that you build for yourself. It catches you if you fall. It gives you the freedom and the confidence to refactor, to clean up, to improve your code without that constant fear in the back of your mind. It's not about being restrictive. It's about being empowered. So I'll just leave you with this one question. It's easy to write code that runs. We can all do that. But can you truly trust it? With a solid foundation of unit tests, for the first time, your answer to that question can be a confident yes.